The woods stood silent, a wall of trees, dark and imposing. Sunlight struggled to penetrate, casting long, eerie shadows. No birds sang. They called it Whispering Pines, but no friendly whispers lived here. Only a silence so deep it felt like a presence watching, waiting. Locals avoided the woods. Stories circulated, whispered warnings of things unseen, unheard, but felt deep within. A chill down your spine, an unsettling feeling that you're not alone. These woods held secrets, dark and ancient, secrets whispered on the wind, rustling the leaves with an unspoken terror, secrets waiting for the unsuspecting soul to stumble upon their truth. Jenna scoffed at the stories. Just silly ghost stories, she'd said, tossing her blonde hair. Her friends weren't so sure. It was a rite of passage, daring each other to spend a night in Whispering Pines. This year, it was Jenna's turn. Her bravado wavered as she entered the woods, the shadows seeming to reach for her. The air grew colder, the silence heavier. Each step deeper felt like stepping further into the throat of some unknown beast. The woods held its breath, waiting to see if she would break. Jenna pressed on, her heart pounding against her ribs. The dare, once a thrill, now felt like a terrible mistake. But there was no turning back. Not now. Nightfall fell like a shroud. Jenna huddled deeper into her sleeping bag, fear a living thing beside her. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig sent shivers down her spine. Then came the whispers, soft at first, like the wind sighing through the trees. But gradually they grew louder, closer, whispering her name. Panic tightened its grip. It was just the wind, she told herself, just her imagination playing tricks. But the whispers persisted, swirling around her, chilling her to the bone. Something touched her face, cold, clammy, like a hand reaching out from the darkness. She screamed, a primal sound that echoed through the silent woods, unanswered. Driven by terror, Jenna stumbled through the undergrowth, desperate to escape the whispers that seemed to be closing in on her. Then she saw it. A light, faint and flickering through the trees. Hope surged through her. Someone else. She stumbled towards the light, emerging into a clearing. In the center stood a dilapidated cabin, the source of the light emanating from a boarded-up window. Cautiously, Jenna approached. As she peered through a crack in the boards, she could see the flickering light came from a single candle, casting long, dancing shadows on the dusty interior. And then she saw him. A figure hunched over a table, his back towards her. He was muttering to himself, his voice a low, guttural rasp that sent chills down Jenna's spine. Summoning her courage, Jenna rapped on the door. The figure jumped, spinning around. He was an old man, his face a roadmap of wrinkles, his eyes wide with surprise. "Help me," Jenna pleaded. "I'm lost and scared." The old man stared at her, his eyes filled with a strange mixture of fear and recognition. "You shouldn't be here," he croaked, his voice raspy. He moved towards the door, but then hesitated, his gaze fixed on Jenna's face. "You look just like her," he whispered, more to himself than to Jenna. "My granddaughter. She came here once too, dared by her friends." A cold dread settled in Jenna's stomach. "What happened to her?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. The old man turned away, his shoulders slumping. "She never left," he said, his voice heavy with sorrow. "The woods, they claimed her." He finally opened the door, his eyes filled with a deep, resigned sadness. But as Jenna stepped inside, she noticed something strange. There was no furniture, no sign of life, just a single dusty mirror on the wall behind the old man. And in its reflection, she saw not her own terrified face, but the ghostly image of a young girl with blonde hair, her eyes wide with terror. The old man was gone. Jenna was alone, trapped in the cabin with the ghost of the granddaughter, forever bound to the woods that had claimed them both. The real terror, she realized, wasn't the whispers in the dark, but the realization that she was already gone, lost in the woods, just like the girl in the mirror.